Hi everyone, my name is Miriam. I'm a visiting PhD from Germany, and I'm here with Seymour and very excited about that. So, death and digital games. As you all know, digital games are a very popular phenomenon. Many people, millions of people play digital games all over the world. And within digital games, death is, well, an omnipresent phenomenon. Everybody basically dies. It can be rather graphic, but it also can be a rather abstract concept, as you probably know in the term game over. Many researchers have been fascinated, as I am, by this topic. However, in their research, they have focused on two things. One is the death of the avatar, the player's basically character, and the function of death in games. What hasn't been looked at so far is the death of other characters in games, which are clearly there, and other death-related topics in games, for example, burials. So what I'm doing is I analyze representations of death and dying in digital games. I want to know what conceptualizations of death are in there, and what aspects of death are negotiated in digital games. And I also want to know what images, what practices, what ideas move into games from other media. And also, how are other people, the death of other characters, how is that staged and represented in digital games? To answer these questions, I look at the visual material and I look at the semiotic qualities of digital games. So I work with content analysis, I work with visual analysis, artifact analysis, and I also use a method that's called close playing. Well, as you know, there are thousands of games out there. I decided on one type of games. They are called hidden object games. And death is very present in these type of games, as you can see in the visual, on the visual level, but also in the narrative. Plus, the player's avatar doesn't die in these games, so I can focus on the death of other characters. So, death and dying, why is this important, especially in terms of digital games? It is important because games also are part of people's everyday life. They're a means of cultural expression, and by that, looking at death, we can draw many conclusions about what we value in life, actually. And by looking at the death of others, we can draw conclusions about conceptualizations of responsibility, of empathy for that people, and that helps us, basically, to work on our identities as a living. Thanks. We've been there, right?
Yeah. And again? Yeah.
It's me. Okay, I'm Yang Hu, a lecturer in sociology, and I'm going to provide a brief overview of my work on transnational families and intimate relationships. And first of all, define terms. So I focus on all sorts of transnational family intimate relationships horizontally in terms of intimate partnerships, and intergenerationally in terms of parent-to-child relations and old age care adoption. Transnational, I'm particularly interested in boundary making, and how people make sense of the boundary and border. And I'm also interested in how people move or do not move across those boundaries, in conjunction with the classic complexities of race, gender, and class. So, two questions drive my research. One, bottom up. I'm interested in how people establish, sustain, and make sense of their family and intimate relationships in a transnational context. And also from top down, how do national as well as intersecting other boundaries challenge and stratify transnational relationships on the ground. So for the first stream, and I've recently published my book on Chinese-British intermarriage to see how people coming from different nationality backgrounds make sense of their different backgrounds, culture, nationality. And also, I've recently been revising an article on attitudes towards transnational intermarriage in China, looking into how people's sort of holistic global orientation are formulated based on individual and also macro level traits. And I submitted 2 grant applications last year, hopefully well. One on skilled migration in East Asia. I'm interested in how the intimate facet of family life accompanies the sort of a dominant discourse of skilled migration, and how families move within those 4 countries of Japan, China, Korea, and the UK. And another research I'm trying to develop is to focus on how not only intimate partners make sense of their own intimacy within the family, but also how beyond the family they develop a respective and joint social networks through a social network analysis perspective. For the other stream of work, I'm interested in how the border regimes are becoming increasingly commercialized. So I've just completed an article with a colleague on the commercialization of family visa policies in the UK, but we're trying to expand that onto a global scale in our ongoing work on monograph on the commercialization of global visa regimes. But beyond that, I'm trying to move away from migration policies alone, trying to move into looking at how borders are being put forward and advanced offshore, beyond the sort of idea of a mainland home country, and also as well as how that has been extending into the post-migration process. So generally I'm interested in how globalization and transnationalization reaches into our everyday intimate life.
That's everybody. So, thank you ever so much to all the speakers.